Very good morning, one and all. Welcome to this session. Uh, Welcome to this course on steam power and gas power engineering. Today discussion: how can we increase the efficiency of Rankine cycle, and the basic idea behind all the modifications to increase the thermal efficiency of Rankine cycle. So this is the main agenda of this today's session. Then, before we would like to discuss about uh, these topics, just I want to discuss about you will try to recall in our previous lecture, that is performance calculations of Rankine cycle, and a comparison of Rankine cycle versus Carnot cycle, and different classes of Rankine cycle in actual condition. These are the topics we are already discussed in previous class. So this is efficiency and networked and relations of ideal Rankine cycle. This is thermodynamic analysis, PV, pressure, volume, enthalpy, entropy, and temperature entropy relations, and network done and turbine work and pump work in terms of enthalpies. These are the derived in previous class. Now today's main agenda is how can we improve, how can we increase the efficiency of Rankine cycle. Especially in steam power plants, we are all responsible for the production of most electric power in this world. So steam power plants is major role plays in India in generation of electric power. So and especially in India, have steam power plants and hydraulic power plants plays major role. So now today we will discuss in this course, we will mainly focus on that steam power engineering, so that the steam power plants responsible production of most electric power in the world. Even if you increasing small thermal efficiency, that means the large savings from the fuel requirements. So if increasing at least 1% of efficiency, that is a reflect input to savings of fuel requirements. So this is the role of efficiency improving methods in actual real-time steam power engineering. Therefore, every effort is made to improve the efficiency of the cycle. This is in our responsibility to maintain and to modify different methods, and you should maintain good performance and good efficiency of a Rankine cycle. So the basic idea is behind that all the modifications to increasing the thermal efficiency of Rankine cycle. That's it. This is the basic idea. If you do any modification in Rankine cycle, if you do any modification in ideal Rankine cycle, so whether it is reheating method or superheating method or so regeneration method or any alternative methods, the idea behind that, the improving the efficiency of Rankine cycle, that is thermal efficiency improving methods. So here initially in first stage have two main factors, two main methods we are introduced. Method one is to increase the average temperature at which heat is transferred, to the working fluid. That means you maintain the constant pressure in boiler, but it should be increasing that temperature, so that increasing the averaging temperature is one. Another one is decreasing the averaging temperature, at which heat rejection. That means if increasing the heat supplied, if increasing the temperature at heat supplied is one condition, if decreasing the heat supplied at heat rejection, if decreasing the temperature at heat rejection, if increasing the temperature at heat supplied, if decreasing the temperature at heat rejection. Then other alternative methods here, so that superheating of the steam, that means that high pressures or average pressures, then increasing the boiler pressure, automatically slightly temperature is also increased at particular condition. Then reheating of Rankine cycle. These are the main modified methods of ideal Rankine cycle, improving the thermal efficiency of Rankine cycle. Now you look at this diagram. This is relation between temperature and entropy. You know the processes. What are the processes involved in this particular cycle? Compression. This is isentropic compression. These are the isentropic expansion process. One is constant pressure and another one is constant pressure. This is heat supplied. This is heat rejection. Now, first modification is that superheating steam to high temperatures. So that what will happen in this particular condition? The average temperature at which heat is transferred to steam, the average temperature at which heat is transferred to steam can be increased without increasing the boiler pressure by superheating the steam into the high temperatures. So without increasing the boiler pressure, the temperature is increased, that is superheating temperatures. The steam is at high temperature. This is the maximum temperature, T max. This is maximum temperature. That superheating the steam to high temperatures has another desirable effect. So what will happen in superheating condition, if increasing the temperature, for example, we are already discussed in previous lecture one problem. So the temperature around initially 20 bar pressure and 260 degrees temperature. Now what will happen in this particular condition? After superheating, the temperature is increasing. It may be around, I just imagine those values, around 560 degrees. So that if increasing temperature, definitely that work performance is increased, maybe slightly improve that thermal efficiency also. But as a student, you have some, I think you have some doubt in this particular condition. Sir, what is the maximum condition of this superheating temperature? If increasing temperature, you said that improving temperature is 560, from 260 to 560, performance is increased and thermal efficiency is also increased. Sir, I increase it from 560 to 1000 or 1100. Then is he also performance increased and efficiency increased? It is possible? No, because reason behind this particular superheating temperatures. Now we will move on this particular reasons. So that superheating condition, definitely that area of the PV diagram is increased. What will happen? As per basics of thermodynamics, net work done will be increased. Maybe thermal efficiency slightly improved. But that superheating steam to high temperatures to another desirable value, that is desirable effect you are introduced here, it decreases the moisture content of the steam at the the turbine exit, that moisture content of the steam will reduced, completely reduced. So this is one desirable effect in this superheating condition. And other uh, particular note in this superheating stage, you you cannot increase that temperature 560 to 1000 or 1100 degrees, because the temperature to which steam can be superheated is limited. However, by the metallurgical and material science considerations, metallurgical and material science considerations. Presently, in modern steam power plants, temperature is allowed at the turbine inlet, about 620 degrees centigrade. That means that 1150 degrees Fahrenheit. Once you exceed this temperature, that 60 degrees, 620 degrees temperature, definitely you violated the metallurgical and material science properties. So some problems were introduced in this particular condition. So that maximum, that is optimum value is, maximum value is 620, optimum value is 360. So you maintain that range. You exceed the temperature, definitely you are violated that metallurgical and material science properties. You will introduce some new problems occurs during this process. For example, I will give you one example practically, real-time application, that is aerodynamics. Gas turbines, modern gas turbines should maintain very high temperatures. That is around 800, 1800 degrees temperature, 1600 degrees, 1600 to 1800 degrees temperature. You exceed the temperature, what will happen in gas turbine? Definitely the gas turbine blades are melted. So that too much temperature is very dangerous in thermal fluid science, and too low temperatures also very danger in thermal fluid science. Please keep in your mind. So please maintain that optimum values and optimum conditions. It may be superheating or reheating or regeneration process. Now, another important method, that is modified method, is increasing the boiler pressure, uh, pressure. So that increasing the boiler pressure, what will happen? Another way to increasing the average temperature during the heat addition process. This is heat addition process. So if increasing the average pressure in this particular process, increasing the operating pressure of the boiler, which automatically raises the temperature. If increasing the pressure at constant in this boiler, automatically raises temperature at which boiling takes place. This condition, boiling will takes place. So you are introduced to one more problem in this particular condition. Exit content of the steam turbine, that is moisture is increased. Before condition, you are increasing temperature at constant pressure. Here at heat addition, you increase the pressure, slightly increase temperature also. Then you are introduced that exit of the turbine, more moisture is increased. Then operating pressures of boilers having gradually increased compared with olden days or over the years. So in 1922, in steam power plants, that is boiler pressures are maintained to 2.7 megapascal. 2.7 megapascal, that is 2.7 into 10 cube kilopascal, or 2.7 into 10 power of 6 pascals. Nowadays, in modern days, right now today, around maintained 30 megapascal. That is boiler pressure. Steam power plants, the modern steam power plant maintained at boiler pressure is 30 megapascal. You see that what is the change in industries. how the technology is changed. So that 2.7, that means around 3 to 330, so 27 megapascal, from 27 into 10 kilopascals pressure will increase from compare with olden days to modern steam power plants. This is my conclusion about that. If increasing constant temperature, constant pressure, temperature is increased, then increasing the boiler pressure at heat addition, slightly increasing the temperature. You look at you look at these two diagrams. Okay, how that thermodynamic curves will change, how the thermodynamic curves will be changed. This is okay. So that here area of the PV diagram increase, work output is increased, performance increase. Here you reduced that exit, that means condensation, that means you reduced the heat rejection at condensation. So this is my fun conclusion about this. Now we will move on reheating method. Okay, reheating method. So this is one good method compared with previous methods. This reheating Rankine cycle. We noted in the previous sections that increasing the boiler pressure, definitely increasing the thermal efficiency of Rankine cycle, but it is also increasing the moisture content of the steam to unacceptable levels. Please keep in our mind. One condition is moisture of the steam, exit of the turbine, moisture content is decreased to unacceptable levels. And another condition, if increasing boiler pressure, slightly temperature is increased, that moisture content of the steam is increased to unacceptable levels. Then the ideal Rankine cycle. What is the difference ideal Rankine cycle with reheating Rankine cycle? So here we are introduced two stages, that is two stages expansion processes. Those two stages are isentropic expansion processes. Okay, that stage one, this is stage one, high pressure turbine. This is low pressure turbine. Yes, this is high pressure turbine. This is low pressure turbine. What will happen? This is same process, that high pressure liquid entering into the steam generator. This is single phase. After steam generation, exit of the boiler is solid plus liquid. That steam, that high pressure steam and high temperature steam entering into the high pressure turbine. Around, I consider after steam generation, the temperature around 560. At exit of the first stage is the temperature is 360. Just you can imagine those values, numerical values. Then the 360 degrees temperature steam entering into the steam condenser, steam generator or boiler. Again, that boiler increasing the temperature from 360 to 560. That means that before reheating and steam generation inlet, that is inlet of the high pressure turbine is equal to inlet of the low pressure turbine, almost equal or slightly difference. Then that temperature steam entering into the low pressure turbine, again it is connected to steam generator and it is connected to consumers. Then this condenser is this turbine, that low pressure turbine is connected with condenser. This is condenser. Condenser has some cooling tubes. Continuously heat will absorb. Then that steam will convert it to partially liquid. That liquid is entering into the pump. So here newly introduced in two particular expansion process, that those two are the isentropically expanded from 3 to from 3 to 4 and 5 to 6. These two are the isentropically expansion processes. Okay, this is one typical closed reheating Rankine cycle. Now we will move on. That is temperature and entropy relations. This 1 to 2 is compression. 2 to 3 is constant pressure heat supply. Now 3 to 4, this is 3 to 4. This 3 to 4 is, okay, first stage. This 3 to 4 is first stage turbine, that is high pressure turbine. Then 4 to 5 is reheating method. 5 to 6 is second stage turbine expansion. So this is expansion 3 to 4. This is expansion 5 to 6 as per in our closed cycle. 3 to 4 is expansion takes place and 5 to 6 also expansion takes place. In between that 3 to 6, that 4 to 5 is, this 4 to 5 is reheating method. So definitely temperature will increase, that is maximum temperature. So efficiency will also increase. Okay, efficiency will also increase. This is the typical diagrams related to that reheating and reheating of closed cycle and temperature and entropy relations of closed cycle. Is it? Yes. Here it's applied heat rejection. Now we will move on performance calculations of reheating Rankine cycle. So net work done is equal, so efficiency of Rankine cycle is equal to net work done divided by heat supplied. Here net work done is, that is WT, turbine work minus pump work. Here turbine work is takes place at two conditions, two isentropic expansions. One is turbine 1 and another one is work turbine 2. So as per in our PV cycle and closed cycle, that turbine 1 work in terms of enthalpy H3 minus H4, H3 minus H4, this is H3 minus H4, maximum enthalpy and minimum enthalpy. You drop, once expansion takes place, automatically you are losing some enthalpies. So H3 to H4, so the difference H3 minus H4 at turbine 1 and turbine 2 is H5 minus H6. This is H5 minus H6. So that net work done, I can write WT is equal to H3 minus H4 plus H5 minus H6. So this is net work done relation. H3 minus H4 plus H5 minus H6. Is it right? Now this is net work done in, that is only work at turbine. This is turbine work. Okay, turbine work minus pump work, that is pump work means H2 minus, H3 minus H2. So this is H3. So this is H3 minus H2. H3 minus H2. This total is net work done. That means H3 minus H4 plus H5 minus H6 minus H3 minus H2 is total net work divided by heat supplied. So where itself heat supplied, heat supplied is H3 minus H2. This is pump work, it takes place H2 minus H1. So I can write this, just you correct. This is H2 minus H1. Okay, this is the expression for efficiency. This is the expression for efficiency of modified Rankine cycle, that is reheating Rankine cycle. Okay, okay. Now net work done, you know, then efficiency is also, you know, of performance calculations of Rankine cycle. So today I just want to conclude here. Okay, I can stop today's session here. Now I will give you the outline of this today's session. We are discussed how we can improve the efficiency of Rankine cycle and different methods and basic idea of modified Rankine cycles. It may be superheating condition, so it maintains that constant pressure and temperature is increased, and other condition is at heat addition, so boiler pressure is increased, automatically temperature is increased. At particular condition, you observe those values and relations of thermodynamics. Then finally, reheating method improve the performance formulas and efficiency formulas of reheating method. So I can stop here. Then tomorrow session I will discuss on another idea modified Rankine cycle is, that is steam ge- power engineering. It is a regeneration method. Okay, then we will move on mean effective pressure of steam power cycles. Okay, so I hope all the students clear about this particular topic. Okay, I hope you are all enjoying these sessions. Tomorrow we will move on in next topic related to that steam power engineering. Thank you. Thank you.